Yeah, we up in here now. I said we back. It's my house now. Yeah. What's up? I just felt like doing an impromptu live. Let's go. What is this? What's the leaderboard? Jab Queen Boxing, what up? Yeah, what up? Yeah. Jab Queen, they hating, we donating. Salute, absolutely. Oh, they want to hate so bad. I understand it. If I was a broke bum too, maybe I would hate. Payday, payday. You want payday? I know that Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford has been made official. In this video, that's what I'm going to break down. You know, there's some details in there that I want to go over. Oh, Ty Drakeford, what's up? You just did a name change. Got it. Yeah, I haven't been going live. So, yeah. Good to see you again. Eric H, what's good? Romans, my guy, what's good? Ego Stradamus, salute chat. Have a blessed night. Turkey is Gino says Turkey is bad for boxing. I can't trust what he says. Oh, we about to get into it. It's gonna be fun. The haters finna be mad at me. The haters, they finna be mad at your boy Ego because I gotta keep it real. That's all I know how to do. Keep it real. I know the haters is mad. They just got to deal with it though. I'm waiting for the notifications to go out. They tripping. YouTube is out here tripping. So, depending on you is going to determine how long the stream is. You guys got to hit the like button, all that good stuff. Time is money. Got a lot of content to make. Eric H, the live is about to be a good one. Absolutely. It's funny because when I do regular videos, they're cool and, you know, people respond to them, comment. But the haters, they like to comment on those videos. And when I see a good amount of like hate comments, I go live. So that's me pulling up like, what's up? Like, what's good? Like, if you just 5 minutes, if I put a video out and 5 minutes ago, a group of people left negative comments, and then I pop up live like Candyman, what's up? Wear the same hate. Cause what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you in the hot seat. I'm gonna invite you on, turn your camera on, and you are gonna get flamed up. You gonna get destroyed in front of these people. But they're cowards, so they never do that. They hide. They like the anonymity of leaving the dumb comment and running off like a rat. These rat bastards. So that's why I pull up. I'm like, what's up? Somebody left a comment. They said, oh, Ego, he's so mad Terence Crawford and Canelo got announced. I don't give a okay. Boxing has by far some of the dumbest fans on earth. Like, not even dumbest people on earth. Why do you think I will be impacted negatively because they announced Canelo versus Crawford. Please let me know how you think. I want to hear it. I want to read it. How you think this negatively impacts my life. I'm a content creator, dummy. I get paid to make content. So I don't like the fight. I never liked the fight. But I never said the fight wasn't going to happen. I just don't really care about the fight. The fight don't really pump my blood. I'm not, this don't feel like a big fight to me. It's just like, I'll watch it. I'll cover, aspects of it, but I'm not hyped for it. Sue me. What you gonna do? But it's funny, you see comments like, oh, Ego, he's sad. Why would I be sad? I'm a content creator. I made a video about it. It's doing numbers per usual. I get paid off it. What is there to be sad about? So Triple G couldn't knock out Canelo, but Crawford is. Bro, this is a dumb fight. I'm telling you. This dumb. And I'll explain that in this video. And Turkey, I'm just be real with y'all. Turkey is like kind of like the king of fake it till you make it. Like he wants a big event so bad, they're trying to force feed you. He got all his minions and they writing like articles and like they're doing synchronized posts. It's not gonna work, bro. It's not gonna work, huh? Hey, that's not how you can't artificially inseminate boxing fans. It's like you can't like fake this. You like fans are customers. They are going to resonate with what they want to resonate with. You know what I mean? They like what they want to like. You can't just like oversaturate the market and then people start believing it. That's not how boxing fans really work. We're a secret society. Look, Melvin said he more hyped for Tank rematch. Absolutely. So we gonna cook on it. I'm TB Ego, one of the YouTube boxing pioneers. I'm really the YouTube boxing pioneer. I really started this. Like, man, I don't even want to get in my bag. I started this, bro. Because even channels that were here before me, they all done bit off pieces of what I did. I came in the game on my own wave. You know what I mean? I ain't have no cosign, no battery in my back. I ain't jump off nobody back. I did things my way, and then the game copied me, right? There was nobody doing like news clippings and ego Weight Watchers. At best, you had people doing fight predictions, and you had people at the fights doing like weigh-ins and interviews with the fighter. You know what I mean? Things like that. But how I came in and freaked it, Ego came in, then he freaked it. He freaked it. I came in and wrote the manual. I came in and I freaked it. I freaked it. And you still see to this day they be copying me. Bro, look at my thumbnails. Like when I make color changes, like change the font to a certain color, then the game start changing the font to a certain color. Huh? If I do a certain bold font, everybody do the bold font. I style it a certain way, everybody style it. I do my intros and my streams a certain way. I open with certain things. I have certain taglines. Then people start copying. Bro, I wrote the manual. You can't tell me otherwise. Look at Desmond Parker. No, he said Ninja started using yellow out of nowhere. Yeah, what a coincidence. You know what I mean? Yellow with the black trim and all. Man, come on, bro. And when you're the architect, you notice it because I'm designing thumbnails and curating the videos so I can see when people buy. You have even, I see my videos where I'll have a picture that I edit of a fighter's face or whatever, pause, and people will screenshot my thumbnail and then cut it out, like cut the fighter's face out and then put it in their thumbnail. But I could tell based on the edits and like it's a screenshot. So the fighter's making the same exact face. The eyes are in the same position. Like, come on. When you design, you know when you're being copied, bro. They be stealing my ideas. I seen DAZN. I got a show I've been running for years, Cap or Fact, where I'll be like, something, is this cap or fact? DAZN, they said facts or cap. Come on, bro. These dudes is bootlegging. They can't beat me, though. Yeah. Ego knockoffs. Bro, it's like going to the flea market and you see like Michael Kors wallets and Coach purses. It's crazy, bro. Desmond Parker is a real one. Desmond is he's preaching. Day one Cash App, everybody told you that was stupid. And 2 weeks later, everybody had Cash App on screen. Bro, I told you, I created this. I'm really him. Like, I'm really the pioneer. When I was asking for donations, people were like, oh, he's a beggar. He's homeless. He begging for money. When I did the Cash App on the screen, they say that's stupid. That'll never work. Now everybody, not even just in boxing, everybody put their Cash App on the link on the screen. Like, come on, bro. But when I started it, it was met with resistance. Oh, this guy's begging for money. He's broke. He needs, don't let him sucker you into super chats and Cash Apps. He's begging you. And the funny thing is, I ain't even done no streams. Y'all said I need super chats to live. I ain't done no streams. So that can't be true. I stream when I want. I do what I want. I don't need super chats. That's just extra. Oh, shout out to my man Jesse Carl from Stockton. We be chopping it up every day. Me and Jesse Carl. And Jesse Carl be on the right side of history. That's what I love. Ego's army's on the right side of history. Y'all some bums. If you're not with us, get lost. Y'all some bums. You're not like us. Jesse Carl, appreciate you. Why they got Bud in the poster dressed like dude that acted like a monkey in the Kumite? Bro, they got Bud like the monkey man. That Blanca looking dude, the dude was moving like Blanca on Bloodsport. Hey, bro, they got Canelo in chancletas from 300. Bro, everything that Turkey and Ring been doing look watered down. Ain't nobody gonna say it. Ain't nobody gonna say it but Boxingego. I'll say it. I don't care. I run boxing. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Bro, everything seems forced. They got Shaquille O'Neal, Tom Brady, and Canelo and Bud talking. What's that supposed to do? We don't know Tom Brady for his boxing takes. I ain't seen Tom Brady. I covered all these fights. I ain't seen Tom Brady at one fight. Bro, I did see Shaq. He was at Tank's fight, matter of fact. Bro, Turkey is the friend with money. In high school, you ever had that friend, his parents got money, and then everybody go to his house because he got all the game consoles? I knew a dude like that, a dude named Brian, and his parents had bread, his house. He had a big house, and he had a Dreamcast. Nobody had the Sega Dreamcast. He had the Dreamcast, he had the Nintendo, he had the Super Nintendo, and he had Sega Genesis. That's Turkey. Turkey's the friend with cash, and he just buying stuff. So nobody's going to keep it real. Dana White not going to keep it real. These minion-ass reporters ain't going to keep it real. They're going to go along with everything he says as long as that money is flowing. But the thing that's crazy with people like that with the bread that's loaded is start cutting people off And I guarantee you they're going to start telling you about yourself. They're going to start distancing themselves. People start using you when the gravy train. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's the equivalent of having yes men. I don't want that. I don't want people to be surrounding me based on what I can do for them, and that's it. That's turkey. I really feel that. I feel like people are they know these ideas are dumb as there's let's fight in Alcatraz. Bro, black people don't want to go to prison. Get him out of here, bro. This man tried to have a fight in prison. Black and Mexicans ain't trying to go to no prison. even if it's a museum now. Ain't nobody trying to go to that for no fight. Be on an island like Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon. I'm ready to leave your island. Bro, get out of here. That was stupid. And then they was talking about at the time, Tio Fimo. He ain't from the Bay. I'm from the Bay, bro. Tio ain't from out here. The Bay Area don't with Tio. He talking about black people and monkeys and watermelon. Nah, bro. Get him out of here. Bud looked bulky, slow AF in that video too. Hey, and the Bud buddies is mad. I said the same thing. They get mad at me. Like, what's good, bro? Bud looks slower. You adding on weight, bro. Bud's legs look bigger. You gaining weight, but you doing all this. Canelo don't have to gain no extra size. This is a dumb fight. I hate it. I really don't like the fight. I feel like this is such a reach. Bro, Bud got them snack thighs. Victor Conte feeding him Triscuits or whatever, chicken and a biscuit, whatever. He bulking up, but he said he like Damon Wayans from the Great White Hype. You do it too much. You do it too much, whoever said that. That's hilarious, bro. Bro, the man got snack thighs, snack calves and snack thighs. Bud been snacking. He got them snack thighs. Man, hell nah. My thing is this. The terms of this fight make it even dumber. Let me explain. The terms of the fight make it dumber. Bud looked maybe a little bit above average at 154, right? He didn't look like welterweight Bud. We'll put it, or 35 or 40 Bud versus Madrimov. You do one fight. I got one little fight and my mom got scared. She said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." Bro, you had one little fight and Turkey got scared. She said, "You fighting on Canelo?" And bro, you had one little fight at 154. And then you've been fighting one time a year. Fact. Bro, the Bud buddies don't like fact. They can't read and they don't like facts. That's what I know so far. They be like, "Yeah, shut up, ego. Fee fi fo fum." Bro, fee fi fo fum, you look real dumb. Everything I'm saying is facts. I'm the prodigal son. Bud has been fighting one time a year. You inbred ucks. He's been fighting one time a year for the last several years. That's a thing. He hasn't fought since Madrimov in August. So by the time September rolls around, again, he will have been out the ring for a year. He ain't doing no tune-ups. No tune-ups. Bypassing 160, going all the way to 168, and he only has one fight at 154 where he didn't look unbeatable. In September, Bud Crawford will be 38 years old. He has gray hairs in his beard. These are all facts. Bud also has to me, done some weird things recently where he's talking about, I'm single. I ain't never been married. What? Like, who cares? What are you talking about, bro? So I don't even know what that's about. He talking about he ain't never been married and he hates that he has to leak it on social media, but he's single. He could do what he want. That was super random. So I don't like that. I don't even know what that was on. So your long whatever. I don't know his personal life, but everybody was under the impression your baby mama was your girl and y'all was together. And then now out of nowhere, Tank made comments about her, and out of nowhere, you not with her. You've been with her all through Top Rank, all after, and then up until recently, this is the first we're hearing that y'all ain't together. So maybe you just reached another tax bracket and you having a midlife crisis or you want to explore your options. I don't know, but that looked weird. That looked weird, bro. You've been with this girl supposedly, like to the public's eye, you've been with her and y'all had like a Wayans family of kids. Look up Marlon, say cheese, and then now all of a sudden you're not claiming her. Weird. But whatever. That's personal stuff. So, I'll focus more in on the boxing. That's a sidebar. That's kind of weird that seemingly you guys have been together, no issue, no public, like you didn't make no public declaration that you weren't with her, put it that way, up until the other day. So I find that weird. Then you ain't fought in a year. You ain't really deep in the 154 career. You're bypassing multiple weight classes and you won't fight nobody else. Like I told you from the beginning, Crawford should have fought William Skull because if Crawford could, first of all, William Skull's not like crazy elite. So if Crawford can't beat William Skull, then he really had no business fighting Canelo anyway. And then at least Crawford would be a legit champion in a new division, right? A legit champion in a new division. And then he would fight for real undisputed. But they had Canelo fight him, and he didn't even look great versus Skull. And here we are. And here we are. So nothing about this fight is big, like they're saying. Because my thing is this. If you look at any other fight that we know for a fact is big, like a fight that Boxingego is saying is big, because I don't cap. None of them had these types of lead-ins, right? Like Tank versus Ryan Garcia, the last fight to hit 1 million+ pay-per-views, right? What could you negatively say about that fight? Tank was undefeated. Ryan was undefeated. Ryan had 9 million Instagram followers. Tank is that dude and a champion, right? It made all the sense in the world. Ryan had exposure. He had been on Mike Tyson promoting the fight. He had a lot to say. Ryan's a knockout artist, at the time especially. Tank's a knockout artist. There's no real like, oh, Ryan been out the ring for 2 years, da 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 da. There was none of that. It was just a fight, and then it resonated with the people and did numbers. So a real super fight, you don't have all this stuff leading into the fight. Bud refused to fight anyone north of 160 because he wanted to put all his eggs in beating Canelo only. Right? So that's what this is about. And then, like, they're talking, it's on Netflix for free. Bro, you probably had because I heard the initial meeting with Turkey went very south, very bad. So you probably had to put it on Netflix for free. I don't know if that's what they wanted to do, but to get the deal done, you probably had to humble yourself and put it for free. Because Netflix, I don't think they're really tripping off a pay-per-view model. They make money off subscriptions. You know what I mean? So the fact that it's on Netflix is cool, but then again, there's some downsides to that as well. Here's why. As a diehard boxing fan and journalist, right, I would rather it not be on Netflix for free. I would rather, me personally, it be on pay-per-view behind the paywall. And I know a lot of you broke bums is like, oh, Ego, why would you say that? Ego. Y'all doing y'all best Paul Bearer impersonation because I said I rather Canelo Crawford be, as a diehard boxing fan, I rather it be behind the paywall. And y'all getting mad probably. Oh, Ego said he would rather pay Undertaker. Right? Let me explain myself. Why I rather Canelo Crawford be behind the paywall. First of all, I'm not a broke bum that can't afford whatever, $80 pay-per-view. That's for starters. I don't care about no $80. I mean, like, I pay it to, like, if you're a wine connoisseur, you got to pay for wine. So boxing is a niche sport. You need to go find a free sport if you don't want to contribute nothing. So I have no problem paying. That's for starters. Two, and this is more for everybody, Netflix did that Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, and it was horrible. I have Netflix, a paid subscription to Netflix. It was buffering. The stream quality was like reduced, and the server was so bogged down that it crashed, and there were rounds that I missed portions of the round because they didn't have the bandwidth or they didn't have their ish together to really be able to, they didn't have the server space or whatever to accommodate that much traffic on one given thing. So that's like going into a restaurant. You go to a restaurant and then the first time you go there, you get food poisoning. You're not really finna look at that restaurant as like, hey, I want to go back here. Now, when Netflix I watched the Tom Hardy movie Havoc. I never had that problem. Like just with their regular movies and stuff, I never have that, like these problems where I can't log in and can't watch. But they're not experienced in the live streaming game, and it showed. It looked like the Jake Paul fight was shot on a potato. They used a russet potato. My quality was terrible. And then Netflix is so disrespectful that the actual fight that I care about, the thing that Boxingego care about, was crummy quality, right? It looked like Minecraft or something, right? But Mike Tyson's ass cheeks was crystal clear. Ain't that about a bit? Bro, when they interviewed him in the back and Mike Tyson had them chaps on and he had his butt cheeks out, his booty cheeks, that was crystal clear. So I didn't need to see all that, bro. I didn't want to see Mike's cheeks. Why is that coming in crystal clear? But then the part I actually wanted to see in fight, I can't see the fight, but his booty cheeks, I got to see that. Bro, they had his booty cheeks in HD IMAX, THX sound. And I'm about to fight Jake Paul, and I'm going to do a slow walk away and pan and look at my booty. What? Hey, yo. What? Bro, they showed Michael's cheeks. I didn't need to see all that. Bro, I watched from like 88 Punch-Out Tyson all the way till he was losing. In the Lennox Lewis fight, I ain't never seen Mike cheeks. Netflix, they gonna show his cheeks. And then the cameraman was wild zesty because he gonna zoom in. Bro, I'm not. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Bro, the Netflix man, he said, and then he zoomed in. He used the focus, follow focus, and zoomed in on the cheeks. Bro, they had Dwayne Wade's son. Bro, they had, what is it? Zaire? Zendaya? What's Dwayne Wade's son? They had Dwayne Wade's son be on the camera. Bro, hey, get this out of here. If I see Crawford or Canelo's cheeks, I'm turning it off, bro. And I'm going to sue Netflix. How about that? Bro, if I see Bud cheeks, Bud booty, or a Canelo booty, little red freckles on the booty, I'm out. Bro, I'm not here for that. I want to see boxing. See, that's what I'm saying. These people that don't really be doing boxing, they don't know what boxing fans really want. Because boxing fans, we ain't asked for Mike Tyson cheeks. What you talking about? And then the fight was disappointing. Mike Tyson eating his glove. Man, what the hell wrong with him? Linux, I'm coming. Bro, so I didn't really have a great experience. Mike Tyson cheeks, strike one. Mike Tyson was chewing on his glove like he had ADHD or something. Tastes like cinnamon. Bro, get him out of here. That was such a waste of my time. So this is a quick, bro, tell me what I lied about. Tell me Mike Tyson wasn't eating Jake Paul, Logan. Bro, like you ain't have it no more. No, that wasn't it. Yo, I'm trying to eat, fam. Man, I'm keeping it real. What y'all want me to do? Y'all say y'all want me to go live. I go live, keep it real, and y'all get mad at me. Because Mike Tyson booty cheeks was out. That's what happened. So, yeah, I didn't have a good experience. So that's why I'd rather the fight be behind a paywall. Because when you have a fight for free, then there's no quality control. Bro, I'm dying. I need to click off. Man, whatever. Y'all get mad when I keep it real, but I'm just being real. No, I'm being dead serious. There's no quality control when you let everybody in. Like, I'm a VIP type ninja. You feel me? I'm from the Bay. I'd rather be at a spot at my age, you know what I mean? I'd rather be at a spot that's like not everyone can get in. Because if you do it for free and just anyone, you got riffraff, you got people like, you know how they do the chats? You got people like that aren't real boxing fans, and then they come in the chat saying stupid stuff, little kids and stuff like that. I don't like that, bro. So on one hand, people are focusing in like, oh, Netflix, there's a lot of eyes that are eligible to see the fight. So that could be good, but it also could be bad for a couple of reasons. When there's no exclusivity and just let anybody in, then it's hard to filter out bullshit. That's why I'd rather, even if the fight's on Netflix, I swear on everything, I would rather pay for the fight on Netflix. Race spammers will be that's what I'm saying. Like, that's exactly like when they do free fights on like YouTube, and there's no quality control. They be like, niggas, y'all some nigga. Bro, I don't know how many times I see the N-word in the chat for no reason. Sometimes it don't even be black people fighting. And some people be like, niggas. They just be typing it. It's like, I don't know. Bro, I swear on everything. When it's them chats where it's just open to anybody, it's not exclusive. People just be like wilding in the chat. I'm a boxing fan. I don't want to see, like, I want real boxing fans with me. Bay Area events. Yee. In the Bay, paying filters out BS. That's what man, talk to him. Bro, Bay Area events, he know what it is. Yee. Bro, when when you make people pay and put it behind a paywall, it filters out some of the bull, because now to troll, you just spent $80. I mean, I guess if you want to waste your money and troll and you had to spend $80, that's cool. So I don't like when the fight, like I'm not tripping off like a fight like Katie Taylor Serrano, because I don't think that's gonna break the server. So that's a good fight to put on Netflix. But when you're trying to overhype Canelo and Crawford, I can envision it being BS, bro. Because Jake Paul, Mike Tyson was BS. Talking like Bob Arum when no one is looking. Bro, watch what I say. This stuff is crazy. Did it my intuition usually is on point. Y'all know me for that. My accuracy rating is stupid. Look at all the bullish that's already been involved. They said the fight was happening on Friday. Then they switched to Saturday. They said Dana White. Then they said Dana White's out of here. Sella Riyadh season. Riyadh pay-per-view finna do it. Then they went back to Dana White, right? Then they said Allegiant Stadium. Then they put out posts like, oh, should we do it in Texas, LA, and da-da-da-da? Where should we do the fight? I thought it was in Allegiant Stadium. Now they waited so long, Allegiant Stadium got booked up with a UNLV game. So now at best you got to pay them to get them off the field, or some way work it out that football game don't happen on the field that they reserved. This is horrible planning, bro. Horrible planning. They announced the fight today on Netflix, so that part came out. They put out a bunch of like interviews that I don't know anyone that watched. They put out flyers. They put the date. They say Vegas, but then they didn't explain what venue is going to be at. Bro, these people they don't know what they're doing, bro. Name another fight that was supposed to be a super fight, biggest fight in the last 10 years, where that fight, right? Or that fight got announced like this. Said it was on Friday. Then a week later said it was on Saturday. Said Dana White's on, right? Announced the fight, put out flyers and put out promotional materials and the press tour, but we don't know what venue this is going to be at, which means you haven't wrapped that up. Bro, this is fugazi. Y'all fugazi. This is trash. I'm keeping it real. Period. If you don't like that, then you don't like the truth. So for me, my intuition is not really wrong. This is already starting off on a bad foot. That's just my honest opinion. You got potential Netflix server issues, which remain to be seen, I guess. Hold on, yo. We're not done. All right. Speaking of off to the wrong foot, right? So they announced the fight. Dana White has his opening statement, right? The man Dana White, let's see if I can, right here. He said Canelo versus T. Craw 3. And I'm like, who the hell is T. Craw 3? That ain't Buzz Handle. Bro, the man Dana White is the promoter, and he tagged whoever this dude is, a fitness trainer. Bro, who the hell is some T. Crawfish 3? Bro, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Dana White is the promoter of this fight, and then he tagged Canelo accurately, but then he don't even know who Terence Crawford is, and he tagged this crawfish, fake Terence Crawford that don't even spell his name the same way, and he's some fitness trainer. Bro, get these people out of here, dog. Bro, he talking about high protein meals from Panda Express. Bro, bro, he tell you what meals to get at Panda Express. And this who Dana White tagged. Bro, get these dudes out of my sport until they act right, bro. So you didn't even you like how hard is it to tag somebody and before you tag them, just make sure it's them. So like this is off to a great start. The man is announcing the fight. He's announcing the fight and he can't even tag the right person. And he's the promoter. And you're like, oh, this is the biggest fight of the century in the galaxy. Yeah, all right. It's so big. Bro. Bro, here's the funny thing. People are going to start saying UFC don't like black people. Here's why. Terence Crawford was sitting next to Turkey. They called him Kendrick Lamar. I ain't told one lie yet. You got a black ass fighter in Terence Crawford, and he went to a UFC event, and they called him Kendrick Lamar. This is rigor mortis, man. It's gorgeous when you die. I recorded in a Morpheus, my mind, a Matrix in my mind. Bro, they called him Dot. They thought it was Kendrick. Yeah, these got twisties in their hair. It must be the same person. Black skin and twisties. Gotta be K-Dot. They're not like us. They not like us. They not like us. All these blacks and these twisties in their head. And then now Dana White tagging some fitness trainer. All black people look alike. Come on, bro. It look like y'all telling me it's a huge fight. They don't even know who Crawford is. Like, what are we talking about? This is the second time the UFC has misidentified Terence Crawford. Second time. And they're like, this is the big, like, honestly, when Floyd was fighting Manny Pacquiao, like I said before, at the end of the day, Manny Pacquiao go make me some sushi, right? When Pacquiao and Floyd were fighting, this didn't happen. HBO, Showtime, all the people involved, you weren't going to confuse Floyd Mayweather with, some random Floyd. You weren't going to confuse Manny Pacquiao. There's such anomalies and big stars. You know exactly who they were. They don't even know who Terence Crawford is. And they're still trying to hype it as like, oh, this is the biggest fight ever. If it's so big, then why everybody should know who Crawford is. They know who Canelo is. They're not messing up his name. So, yeah, the whole thing seems forced. If somebody did that ish at HBO, they would have been fired. Facts. So you're not off to a good start and you're not making it really sound believable to me. They definitely don't respect Bud. Yeah, you're not even giving. You're like, oh, he's a legend. He's such a legend. Y'all don't even know who he is. Okay. So it goes to show you, Bud, he's a great boxing fighter and all that, but his profile is not what you think it is. Period. Okay. Name the time, like if Mike Tyson go in the crowd, people aren't calling him Michael Strahan or something. They know that's Mike Tyson. So there's even Evander Holyfield. You're not going to see Evander Holyfield and be like, oh, that's Bojangles. You're going to be like, that's Evander Holyfield. That's Lennox Lewis. These guys are like solidified and like identifiable just by look. They're calling Crawford Kendrick and some fitness instructor. Dana White is good at UFC. Boxing is completely different. That's what I'm saying. Like UFC is a total different sport, different demographic. You know what I mean? Like whatever's cool in the UFC ain't necessarily cool in boxing. You know what I mean? Like in the UFC, you got guys from like Georgian guys and Dagestani guys that are like atop of the sport, and everybody like, oh, but like in boxing, you don't really see hella Dagestani Eastern European that resonate with American audiences the same. Like Usyk, Triple G, occasionally you'll get a couple guys, but not like where they're running the sport and they're bigger than Tanks and guys like that. And somebody had the audacity to say, I'm upset with this fight. I don't care about this fight. It's gonna make me laugh. Let me ask you guys a question. I got an analogy for you. If you went to a food truck, like a taco truck, right? And you ordered a burrito, how many bites do you need to tell if that's a great burrito, a delicious burrito or not? Tell me in the comments. If you went to a taco truck you had never been to for the first time and you ordered a burrito, how many bites are required for you to really determine if it's a banger or not? Okay, one, 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 one. See, all right. So for me, I would say two. Two. Here's why. Because sometimes you'll get a burrito and in the first bite, you get mostly tortilla or like some tortilla and rice. So you didn't get to taste the meat, pause. You didn't get to taste everything, all the flavors. So one, a little bit iffy, but for sure two, maximum, maximum, three bites. I've never had a burrito and like took more than a bite or two, and then the burrito started getting good when the first couple bites was trash. It's never happened. Never happened. Never had like where I had to eat the whole burrito for me to determine, oh, this was a fire burrito. So it's really like two max. Three is kind of really pushing it. Three bites is done. I see stupid, bro. Two is probably the max. Three is like kind of pushing it. Okay. So using that same analogy, if you can determine in the first bite or two the quality of a burrito, look at this fight. The early goings of this fight have tracked horribly. A bad Netflix meeting initially, Crawford layoff, confusion on the dates, confusion on the promoter. As of right now, we still don't know the venue. This is not the way mega fights are really announced and rolled out. I've never seen it. So for me, I'm just going to go with the ebb and flow and use my intuition that this is off to a bad start, bro. Off to a bad start. And usually, if the plane is nosediving, if it gets to a point, it's going to be too late. You're in the mountains. It's going to be too hard to pull up and rescue it. And that's what I look at this fight. Canelo's performance versus Skull, terrible. Didn't really hype me up for the fight. Crawford been inactive. Crawford saying he's single for no reason, right? Confusion on the dates and no venue. I'm telling you, this is not tracking well. You guys, oh, I don't care. You go, all right. Keep saying it's a huge fight and all that. We're going to see. We're going to see if this goes on without a hitch. And then here's another thing. The man Turkey said some craziness to me. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but it sounds wicked to me. But then again, I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. So some of y'all might not be able to relate if you ain't the best in the business.
Canelo Crawford, 13th of September in Las Vegas. Thank you for everyone. Thank you, Canelo. Thank you, Crawford. Thank you, Netflix. Bella. Thank you, Bella. Thank you, all your team in Netflix. Thank you, Nick Khan, TKO. Thank you, Dana, my brother, who he will promote this fight with me. Thank you for Sila, Dr. Rakan, my old friend, Dr. Rakan. Thank you to Riyadh Season, Faisal. Thank you to Fatal Fury, SNK. Thank you to The Ring Magazine. Thank you for everyone. This is the biggest fight in boxing and in history in the last 10 years and maybe more. Thank you, Shepard, from the team of Canelo. Thank you, Ash, the Hunters. And this is very good opportunity for the talent in boxing. We will make the undercard, all the undercard, about talent, because we have the biggest fight. We don't need big fight in the undercard. For that, we will give the chance for the talent. If you think you are ready to be in the undercard of Canelo Crawford, come talk with us. And maybe you will have chance. Thank you, and see you in Vegas the 13th of September, inshallah.
Bro, get these people out of here. This motherfucker having a talent show. Bro, he hosted a talent show. I don't know what bro, this a game show? Star Search? Bro, I know y'all heard that, bro. The man said we got the biggest fight. We don't need a proper undercard. Submit if you think you got what it takes. Bro, he doing American Gladiators out this month. Hey, these ideas is dumb, bro. Bro, the man said you gonna have bum fights on here. You finna have street brawls. Like what are you talking about? He said we don't even need a real undercard because we got the biggest fight. That's not how that works. That's not how that works at all, bro. This is gonna be a disaster. I can't wait. This motherfucker having a talent show. He talking about sending your tape. He doing a casting couch. Bro, he doing a casting couch with the fighters. Yeah. Sit on this couch real quick. All right, get up in shadow box for 30 seconds. Man, hell nah, bro. This is a cat, bro. He got bangbros.com. Bro, he got a casting couch, a casting call or whatever. Hell nah. I never even heard of that, bro. So nothing about this fight is being rolled out in a traditional sense. Like when you ever seen like Mayweather has Mayweather Promotions. So when Mayweather was fighting against Canelo, I went. Or not Canelo, when he fought Conor McGregor, I went to the fight, right? And he had Mayweather Promotion fighter Badu Jack on the undercard, Andrew Tabiti on the undercard, Gervonta Tank Davis on the undercard. Turkey has no fighters, so he doing a talent show. Yeah, if you feel you have what it takes, get in touch with me. I ain't never seen that. So you got no venue that you're able to confirm. So no venue, and you have no undercard. And the fights in September. And Netflix did a horrible job with the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, being able to accommodate the whole, accommodate the server. They weren't able to accommodate the amount of traffic. So this looked crazy to me. This looked absolutely cooked. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Turkey got too many gimmicks, and nobody else is calling it out but me. Bro, he had a fake Snoop Dogg. Bow wow. 9-5 plus 4 penny. Add that nephew. Bro, he had a fake Ed Sheeran and a fake Snoop Dogg. Boxing fans don't want to see that, bro. Bro, you had Kai Cenat at the Times Square thought he met Snoop Dogg, but it was an imposter. Y'all gonna see. Boxing is not like a gimmicky sport. We don't need gimmicks. There's certain things we do need. Gimmicks ain't one of them. Bro, who told you to get some imposter? Like, what you gonna get? Michael Jackson next? Girl, close your eyes and let that rhythm get into you. Bro, he gonna have a Michael Jackson imposter. Be like, oh, for this fight, I brought back MJ. Relax, feel that meat, and I'm gonna rock with Turkey. Bro, get this out of my face, bro. If I see an MJ imposter, I'm turning it off. Tell me what has become of my life. Bro, if I see an MJ imposter, it's over. Y'all better hope you don't get a fake MJ. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Skinhead, dead, and everybody go bad situation. Alligator, like on the news. if he pull out the fake MJ, bro. If it's fake, if I see a fake Breezy, it don't even have to be MJ. If it's a fake Chris Brown dancing in the crowd, we gonna get freaky. You know, these walls ain't loyal. Whatever, I want you back, and them haters can't do. Bro, if I see a fake Breezy, I'm finna be hot and turn it off. It's not like I'm paying for it. Yeah, you didn't put it on pay-per-view. I don't gotta pay for it. I'm turning it off. I promise. If there's a fake Breezy, these walls ain't loyal. Right now. Tell me who's getting all my love. If I build you up. Bro, they do not know what they're doing. It is what it is. And I feel like Turkey, he feel like, oh, if I get Shaq and Tom Brady, this is going to make it bigger. I don't know. I feel like we're in different time. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm not. These streamers are damn near more lit than celebrities. Is that cap or fact? These streamers are more lit than celebrities in 2025. Like that, like to be honest, that's why you have to see, like you see Ray J or Orlando Brown or Will Smith, they're going, and Kevin Hart, they're like doing streams with Kai Cenat or I Show Speed or whoever. So like that, like, and then like this is me. I'm not trying to badmouth any goats. But like a person like Tom Brady, the man he's definitely older than me. You know what I mean? So a guy like Tom Brady, this new generation, that's not their generation. They know the Mahomes and like the current football players. They're not going to, I'm not saying they don't know who Brady is, but I don't know that they care about retired sports icons that's not really in their generation. Like some of these kids were not even born with Brady. When did he go get drafted? 96. You know what I'm saying? Some of these kids weren't even born. Some of these youngins, they weren't even born at that time. So they're not going to resonate with Brady. That's just the reality of it. Like I got rappers from my generation, and then some of these kids would be like, G Herbo's better. I like G. So I seen the thing. They said, the dude said, I like G Herbo better than Jadakiss. LeBron era coming to an end. That's what I'm saying. It's like a different generation. So it's like Crawford being 40, almost 40, Shaq and Tom Brady and Canelo. That's not really that compelling to me. That's not really a compelling sit down. I mean, I'll watch it maybe, but I don't feel like that's doing nothing for real. But Turkey, I feel like Turkey's like angle is to gimmick and name drop. Let's put a fight in the middle of the street, Alcatraz, bring streamers, bring Mr. Beast. Like none of that's, boxing fans don't care about none of that, bro. Especially like, bro, you got the battles in LA with Ice and all this type of stuff. You announce a fight with Canelo Crawford like at the height of what's happening in Los Angeles with Latinos. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? There's no spatial awareness. Like, what's going on in the world absolutely matters. You have Latinos and just people in general in Los Angeles, and it's up right now with the whole ICE and National Guard and all that type of stuff. And you're announcing a Canelo fight today, like at the height of that. I'm glad Benavidez turned down Alcatraz. Yeah, because Benavidez ain't no corny dude. Like, he's like, what am I fighting in Alcatraz for? The timing is terrible too. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. And people think I'm nitpicking. Like, nitpicking is when you're like going out of your way. This is like easy stuff. Announcing a fight with no venue. Announcing a fight with a Latino fighter when Latinos have other things to be worried about, like what's happening in these big cities like Texas and San Francisco and Dallas and Austin and LA. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even know. You like overflooding the thing, the waves with Canelo and Crawford. The other thing is, let's be real. Canelo and Crawford, they don't really have a backstory. Canelo is type boring, like in the buildups, and so is Crawford. That's the reality. Somebody tell me I'm lying. Crawford and Canelo are great fighters, but they're boring in terms of buildup. They don't typically have big fights where it has this crazy promo run like Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather and Ricky Hatton. Floyd Mayweather, Shane Mosley. Floyd and Oscar. Name one Crawford fight, any of his fights, that was bigger and a better promotional build than Floyd Oscar 24/7. Okay, I'll wait. Y'all some bums. Y'all can't defeat me. Y'all bums. I'm asking, name one Terence Crawford fight that had a better organic buildup that made you want to see the fight bigger than Floyd versus Oscar De La Hoya. Include Errol Spence fight if you want. Name one Crawford fight. Crawford Mean Machine, I don't even remember them arguing or nothing. Hank Lundy, he pushed him, but that wasn't like a huge fight. You know what I mean? That was like a top ranked special. That wasn't like a big fight. Okay, what happened in the Spence fight? Since you want to, all right, Bo, you in the hot seat. Tell me what happened in the Spence fight in the promo build that hyped you up. Y'all can't just be answering and not know what you're talking about. Okay, Bo, tell me what happened in the Crawford Spence buildup that you thought was like equivalent or greater to Mayweather versus Oscar De La Hoya. Please let me know. Y'all be lying. Y'all know I'm right. Y'all know I'm perfect. Y'all know my record is perfect. So to try to defeat me, you lie. Two bad boxers going at it. Block him. You just wasting my time. Block Bo. Yeah, we about to throw them bows. Cadillac grill, Cadillac mills. Check out the oil my Cadillac spills. Bro, we throwing you out the club. AKA, we getting a little ludicrous. We about to throw them bows. Pew, pew. Throw them bows. Sit it wood, bro. What I gotta say is like Luda, we about to throw them bows. The incredible, untouchable niggas been in out the body with the dopest flow. And wonder why the lines around the corner because the little mother at the dopest shows. 2-time for my independent women that be big. Bro, what I gotta say is like Luda. 2-time for my independent women that be big at that cake. Bro, get him out of here. Y'all some bums. Y'all can't defeat me. Who next? I won. Who next? I know I'm perfect. I know y'all can't outthink me. The man said, where do I sign up to get on the undercard? You're comparing different eras. Pointless. Bro, you a bum too. You can get it too. Unseen video. Yeah, we going to make you real unseen. Okay, since I'm comparing different areas, right? Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia had an excellent buildup. Now compare it to anything Crawford's done and tell me a Crawford fight that had a better buildup, promotional. No, don't ha. Answer the question. You got 30 seconds on the clock. And the bad guys probably know where you're at. Good luck. So I'll take a more recent fight from 2023, Tank versus Ryan Garcia. Name a time where Crawford had a fight that had a promotional build bigger than that. Block unseen video. Block him. I told you couldn't answer it. I wish you had more time. I wish you had more time. Block him. You unseen video, get him out of here. Crawford only has one big fight, then you shouldn't have tried to go against me. Block him. Get unseen video out of here. Shooters, remove him. I wish you had more time. Bro, you out of time. I'm going to teach y'all to respect the king. The Bud Buddies is, they know I'm right, so this is what they do. They know I'm right, so they try to play games and play these charades, and they can't answer the question. Kenya B, what's up? We taking out the trash, Kenya. Yeah, Kenya. Yeah, Kenya. We taking out the trash. Bro, Bud ain't had no fights like that. He ain't had a fight bigger, better build up than Canelo, Caleb Plant. Canelo going to sleep. Bro, you put Omaha in your name. I'm not trusting you. I don't trust you. Y'all in the cornfields. Y'all all stick together with ashy elbows. I'm not trusting anything you say with Omaha in your name. He talking about Canelo going to sleep. Why didn't Madrimov go to sleep? Huh? Say something. Bro, if it's that easy, why he ain't sleep Madrimov? Madrimov had 11 fights. Khan wasn't a big fight. Man, get the hell out of here, bro. Hey, on rolling 60, you ain't no rolling 60 cut. You ain't rolling 60. Bro, how many pay-per-views did Crawford Khan do? Bro, you a bum, dog. How many pay-per-views did it do if it was such a big fight? Huh? Let me know. Tell me Amir Khan, ain't nobody cared about that fight, bro. They had Shakur Stevenson on the undercard. He said 100K, I think. So now that's a big fight. Bro, you had Shakur on the undercard, Terence on the undercard, and it ended horrible. He said he got hit in the nuts. Bro, when you watch that pay-per-view, it ended on a nut shot. Bro, I'm about to get y'all up out of here. Name a pay-per-view you ever bought since that or before that where the main event ended via nut shot. And you talking about Bud gonna knock him out. Why he ain't knock out Madrimov then? The Bud Buddies is down so bad. Bro, we gonna see. I don't like the fight. I don't like my thing is this. Canelo did look bad versus William Skull. Bud won every round. I didn't ask. We talking about big fight. Bro, you starting to get annoying. If you say one more thing that I deem annoying, you up out of here. Bud a different bread. Get him out of here, bro. This man said Bud a different bread. What is he, rye bread? What are you talking about? He's some bread. Get him out of here, bro. Get Rolling 60 up out of here, though. He said Bud a different bread. What type of bread? He's some sourdough? Rye? Say something. Man called Bud some bread. Bro, the Bud Buddies are down so bad, they're rushing to type. They can't even say, they're not even typing English. Man, Bud is some different bread. Listen. They know Boxingego was powerful. They said Bud a different bread. That's why I got them all sourdough. Hold on. That's a bar. Listen, they mad at the kid. I'm the best in the business. They know I'm real powerful. They said Bud is a different bread. That's why I got them all sourdough. Get it? Sourdough. We talking bread. Man, come on, bro. That's a bar. I'll clap one of y'all. Bro, step up. That's a bar. They mad at the kid. I'm the best in the biz. They know I'm too powerful. They said Bud a different bread. So I got them all sourdough. That's a bar. Bro, they can't bar y'all up like me. Stop playing with me. Bud a different bread. Who next? Y'all not witty like me. Y'all, man, come. I'll eat y'all lunch, bro. Stop playing with me. They mad because they know what I'm saying is true. This fight ain't what y'all saying it is. And you think Netflix gonna save it. I can't wait. Oh my God. I can't help but wait till the day when bro, I can't wait. I can't wait. Bring this fight. There's gonna be some trash. I really feel it in my soul. This is gonna be a legendary fight. I don't see it. Bro, it's gonna be freezing up, popping, locking. Bro. Bro, this Netflix stream for to be on turbo electric boogaloo. Pop it, sweet, no dancing. Bada, don't de nada, boom boom bedo. I ain't talk. Bro. What you got, Tourette's? He said, you wrong on this one. You wrong on this one. Bro, what you writing a chorus? Why you repeat it? You're wrong on this one, wrong on this one, wrong on. I said you're wrong on this. He trying to turn it into a song format. Why you say it twice? Hey, Omaha down bad, bro. Why y'all down so bad, bro? I said you're wrong on this and you're wrong on that. Bro, the education level in Nebraska is down bad, bro. I know y'all ain't graduate. Bro, you tripping. That man said, you're wrong on this, and now you're wrong on that. I don't care if y'all try to preach and put song lyrics and stuff. I'm not wrong. Y'all wrong. Okay, listen, I'm gonna be real. Why didn't if Bud just gonna easily manhandle Canelo? Why he ain't do that with Madrimov? He was saving himself. I'm saving myself for marriage. Like, explain that. I really want to know this. Hey, why did Bud not look sensational versus Madrimov? He was like really in the fight. Let's be real. I'm a double down. Listen, I'm too fast. I'm too good. Bro, y'all better wake up and apologize. Ego Lee is back. Yeah. Listen, I'm going to kick it. I'm going to kick it to you real. I'm going to teach you the facts. Listen, Virgil Ortiz beat up Madrimov better than Bud did. Church. Madrimov is pound for pound number 3. You pound for pound on dust. How about that? This man said he pound for pound number 3. P4P. It says who? He said Madrimov is pound for pound number 3. You off that dust. Yeah. I didn't know you like to get wet, though. Sherm, Dust, PCP, Primo, butt naked. That's what you had. Bro, I didn't know you like to get wet, though. You on dust. You said Madrimov number 3. He number 3 on what? Bro, Virgil Ortiz had Madrimov, and he wasn't even fighting like Madrimov. He like in the second half of the fight, he was getting broke up. He was getting broke up like a bad marriage. Listen, I carry y'all. That's a horse and carriage. I said Virgil Ortiz, he was getting the Madrimov, had him broken up like a bad marriage. Look, he was getting broke up, and then all that fainting and jumping around and stuff, he was getting touched up. And he stopped doing, he wasn't doing that as much. Terence Crawford was pretty tit for tat. I told you, Turkey team be listening to you for real. You speak the truth, they trying to catch up. I try to tell y'all, I'm the prodigal son. They all pay attention to me. The reason I know is because they be subbing me. I make a video, I make a post, then a day later, it's seemingly an answer to what I just said. I literally, bro, I swear, I know it sounds crazy. I just posted this. I said, where is Canelo versus Terence Crawford fight? A day ago. The next day, Dana White talking about the fight. I'm promoting the fight, and then they come out with the fight. It keep happening. They trying to sub me and answer all the questions. Like, I'm like, oh, where's the venue? Then tomorrow they'll come out with a venue. Like, nah, bro. And the beautiful thing that I do is I'm right here in real time. So no matter what everything I'm saying is as of this moment. So there's nothing you could do. You could hurry up and try to secure the venue and announce it. But we're talking about right now. You ain't done that. How you drop a flyer with no venue? Get out of here. Southpaw the GOAT, you sound stupid. Boxingego, he was experimenting in a new way. What you mean experimenting? He was in a science fair project? What do you mean experimenting? So if he was experimenting with Madrimov, which is why he fought like that, you're talking about he's not Superman, then how he going to be Superman when he experimented 2 weight classes above what you just said he was experimenting at 54? Y'all getting walked down, bro. Bro, y'all getting walked down with the stick. Y'all getting walked down and don't know what to do. If you call it experimenting with the new weight, then he's going to have to experiment his ass off versus Canelo at 168. So that don't sound too appealing. If he had to experiment at 54, then how are you going to acclimate to 168 in one motion? He doesn't need a tune-up. He's too good. All right, I'm done with you, bro. You just saying stupid stuff now. He said he's too good for a tune-up. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That man said he too good for a tune-up. It's a dumb opinion. Ain't nobody too good for a tune-up. What? He said respect. All right, block him. You just annoying now. Kenya, block this southpaw to go. You doing too much, bro. I don't even want to see your name anymore. Dead homies. Yeah, dead homie. Hey, shooters, block him. Bro. Terence Crawford. Hey, bro. Y'all think Bud is like Mega Man or something. Like a comic book folklore or something. He too good for activity. He too good for a tune-up. Like, come on, bro. Ain't nobody. Floyd Mayweather got out of jail and fought Robert Guerrero, which for him is like a tune-up. Then he fought Canelo. You're talking about Bud too good for a tune-up. That sounds stupid. My man said he about to get tuned up. Hey, let's be real. Canelo might be juicy. Bro, Canelo finna be off that meat again. Bro, dead homies, Canelo might eat some meat. That's all I'm saying. Bro, Canelo might get some steakums in his system. That's all I'm saying. Canelo finna be... Because there's no way Canelo's going to want to lose to a smaller guy. A black guy who's smaller. Bro, so Canelo finna be... He ain't doing the vegetarian. He back on the meat. Bro, I ain't Canelo's nutritionist, but he back on the meat. Trust me. Canelo finna eat him some steakums. He finna get them Philly cheesesteaks and carne asada. All the meats. He gonna be on a hamburger helper. Yeah. Al Pastor. Bro, he on all the meats. He gonna need his protein. Somebody said Canelo finna get some menudo. Bro, he eating the caldo de res. He on all that for this Crawford fight. Don't worry about that. And, okay, let me explain this too for you bozos. I keep seeing this Floyd Mayweather did this to Canelo. Whoever says that, I feel like you an idiot. You don't know boxing. You can't just instill somebody else's like attributes in you. This ain't no video game. People are making it like Crawford and Mayweather are Ken and Ryu and they got the same moves. You guys are dumb, in my opinion. People keep... I never understood that. The only commonalities that Crawford and Mayweather have are black skin and they're both American. That's really it. They're two different generations, two different defenses, two different styles and mentality. Crawford likes to scrap. If you hit Crawford, he sticks his tongue out. I study the game. I study Crawford, bro. I study all great fighters. I tell you, Crawford, when Crawford get hit with a hard shot, he'll lick his chops and stick his tongue out and then try to come get he don't want you to steal moments of the round, and he's such a competitor, he'll try to get on you and try to get that back quick. Like Kell Brook bashed him with a jab, bow, and he'll be like, he'll stick his tongue out and then try to get that lick back. That's who Crawford is. That's his mentality. When Dreamoff hit him a good shot, he's sticking his tongue out. That's what, like, and to be honest, that's kind of bad because in boxing, you don't want recurring like mannerisms because that's not really a poker face. People know what that meant. If you study Crawford, you know what that meant. It's like when Pacquiao, he has mannerisms. Y'all don't study boxing like me. Pacquiao, when he started getting like hit with hard shot, he started banging his glove, trying to hype himself up, right? mannerisms. So Bud's mannerism, he get popped or hurt or hit, he'll stick his tongue out. So you don't want these things that are identifiable and whatnot. So anyway, the bottom line, he don't fight like Floyd Mayweather. He don't fight like Floyd Mayweather at all. His temperament is different. He's more aggressive. He's just a different fighter. His defense is not the same. Bud is there to be hit. Bud is there to be hit. I mean, and it's like Boots, Virgil Ortiz, Bud Crawford. All these guys are good, even in a way. They're good, but they're aggressive. And that aggression, that means with the right person, you there to be hit. The more aggressive you are, the more it opens you up. This is just common sense. Canelo's there to be hit too. See, I hate like that. Okay, when I make a point, it's a point and it's well thought out. You have people who try to do what I do and they'll try to like respond to the point that I just made by saying the contrary, right? It don't work like that. All things aren't equal in boxing. This Malachi dude, he said Canelo's there to be hit too. Yeah, but Canelo's not the guy moving up 14 pounds when he only has one fight at 54. So really moving up 14 to 21 pounds in one motion. So why did you just say that? You're trying to compete with me, but you can't compete with me, bro. The reason I'm saying that is because Crawford is a smaller man. So that detail actually matters typically when you are the smaller person. You have to be a bit more cautious. You're saying it, oh, but Canelo's there to be hit too. Yeah, but you can afford to make probably a bit more mistakes when you're at your natural division as opposed to the person. Bro, but what you said is irrelevant when the reason I said what I said is because it's meticulous. There's a reason for it. You're saying Canelo could be hit too. Yeah, but it's different. So, okay, if I'm talking about a guy fighting a girl, right? And I'm like, man, that girl, she can't get hit because that guy, you know, he's just too big for her. And that girl's there to be hit. And then you say, oh, but the guy's there to be hit too. Oh my gosh, bro. Yes, the guy can be hit too. He don't have much of a defense, but it actually matters when we're talking about a man versus a woman. Like, let's say Clarissa Shields versus Keith Thurman, right? Hypothetically. Clarissa Shields, if I make a point and I'm saying Clarissa Shields can't get caught lacking on defense versus Keith Thurman, and then you say, oh, but Keith Thurman gets hit too. Bro, it's not the same because Keith Thurman probably can take some shots from Clarissa Shields. If Keith Thurman really get in his bag in like one time, I don't think a female or a Clarissa Shields will take that too well. You know what I mean? So it's completely different, bro. She fought that, yeah, Clarissa did fight that Russian nobody, like no one knows who he didn't have no crazy record and he dropped her. So like I'm saying it for a reason. You guys are saying it to rival me. Big difference. So yeah, it's not, all these things aren't equal. But if Bud was naturally bigger, my conversation would be different. If Bud was naturally bigger than Canelo, I wouldn't even give Canelo a chance, to be honest. But that's not the circumstance. So my think pieces are very thought out and meticulous. I'm saying it for a very specific reason. A lot of times you guys try to like combat what I say, but it's not really, you didn't really think it out. You just said the opposite, basically. Clarissa was crashing out, saying he was going to stab him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't even want to get into that. Whatever. MBT, what's up? The bottom line is, Icy made a good point. He said, using my burrito analogy, this is Canelo, at least his third person in a bigger fight where he fought a much smaller person and it didn't end well. Amir Khan, Jermell Charlo, and Al Crawford. And there's really more than that. Jose Cito Lopez. Bro, none of these guys, Jose Cito, Amir Khan, so Amir, Jermell Charlo, Jose Cito, all these guys that had to move up mad weight on Canelo didn't beat him. The only one that did is Floyd, and again, Floyd is like another planet than most fighters. So I can't even use Floyd and what he's able to do. And he did it in 2013. This is more than 10 years ago. Isaiah is barring y'all up. A lot of people don't realize when you move up in weight, you sacrifice something. Bud is going to lose stamina if he comes up there trying to outbox combo Canelo right out the gate. And here, like, now I'm going to get a little bit technical on some boxing stuff. Even if you're a seasoned fighter like Terence Crawford is, right? A lot of fighters still have nerves, right? A lot of fighters still have nerves, and then like a lot of them will tell you, "Oh, I never get nervous," but you're human. So at some point, if you put yourself in certain situations, there's going to probably be some nerves. And I really feel like situations like this, when you move up in so much weight, even if you normally don't get nervous, there's going to be a bit of nervous energy because you have to almost prove certain things to yourself, right? And that could be bad when you have nervous energy because you could fatigue quicker, right? If you remain calm, then, like, for example, if you're underwater and you have a certain amount of air in your tank, the more you panic underwater, like, those people in the shark cages, like they have little tours and stuff you can get in the shark cages. The more you panic in one of those, like an inexperienced diver, the quicker you'll use up your air and oxygen. So they tell you to be very, very calm no matter what. Because if you don't, you're going to burn through that air, right? So nervous energy, I feel like you definitely have it, probably even more when you can't make no mistakes. You know what I mean? And the dangerous thing with the fight like this for Crawford is Crawford can take away and he could be feeling himself winning the first 4 or 5 rounds versus Canelo. But just like Wilder Ortiz too, just like recently Fabio Wardley versus that Hunnis dude, right? One shot, that's all it really takes, especially when you're the bigger person. So I don't doubt Bud's heart. I don't doubt Bud's skill. I don't doubt that Bud will try. I don't doubt Bud's self-belief. But all that stuff is cool. Canelo can make mad mistakes, but then he can also turn it around. Like, I'm not even saying Canelo will look good in the fight, because Bud, he has willpower and the willingness to win and stuff like that. However, all that can be erased when you're dealing with the bigger person. Ego, both of them literally coming off underwhelming performance. The fight risky to bet on. Yeah, I agree with that. And here I'm gonna say something that's probably controversial. I don't want to. Y'all want me to do it? I'll let the fans pick. Y'all gonna really think I'm crazy. If y'all want me to say it, say it in the comment section. All right, the fans want me to say it. Terence Crawford's power is overstated. There, I said it. The Bud Buddies think Crawford can KO King Kong. Let's go, Kamal. Let me put Kamal on the screen. Facts. Bud's power is overstated. Let me explain. He does have power, but he doesn't have the power that y'all think he has, in my opinion. Like, for example, Tank Leo Santa Cruz. How many people has Bud done that to? How many people has Bud done that to? What Tank did to Leo Santa Cruz. Please let me know. Name the fighter that Bud did that to. Crawford didn't even get used to fighting at 54. Only had one fight there. Now moving up 2 more weight classes. Bud 38, year layoff. Skull and Crawford fight 2 totally different. Dan the Boxing Man cooking. David Avocado, maybe. But I really don't even like counting that because he had defective gloves. So, I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. I never seen that. I'm not counting that. I'm not counting that because how were you able to continue with defective gloves? That can't. How does that count? If steroid fights don't count, having like technicality, that to me can't count. Bro, your gloves exploded. They noticed it and they didn't stop the fight. And then you jumped on him. And then keep in mind in the avocado fight, Bud, it wasn't looking like super spicy. Bud was like doing cool, but he wasn't in that mode. When them gloves blew up, then he like got in gorilla mode and then knocked him out real quick. But before that, it wasn't that type of fight where like Jaron Ennis was throwing harder shots at Avocado early. So I can't count no fight where somebody gloves ripped open. Is Snack open with Victor Conti battling cancer? I'm not sure, you know. I wish him a speedy recovery. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. So I have no idea. I don't know how that works. I'm not counting no fight. So we can't really include the avocado fight. Name a fight where Bud iced somebody like Tank did Leo Santa Cruz. Name a fight. See, y'all can't do it, bro. So again, Bud has power, but it's like more on the accumulative and surgical shot side as opposed to like brute force, bow, bow. Like that's just kind of what it is. Like even Jose Benavidez, right? When he knocked out Jose Benavidez, the first shot, if Tank hit a fighter with the shot that Bud, that sneaky uppercut, the fighter's not getting up. Can we agree there? The initial uppercut that knocked Jose Benavidez down in the 12th round, if Tank threw that and landed it like that on a fighter, they are not getting up from that. I was at that fight. Benavidez got up. Y'all don't remember that. And then he got stopped on his feet because he wasn't punching back. I'm not even mad at the stoppage, but I'm just saying it wasn't like, dude, and then it's just a 10 count. So it's like, even John Molina, I was at that fight too. John Molina, Crawford overwhelms you, bah, 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 and jumped on you, bah, bah, bah. And then Molina's just in the corner getting hit. These are rightful stoppages. But what I'm saying is, there's a difference. when Better Biev is hurting guys, look at their faces. Like Caleb Smith, Marcus Brown. Way different. So all this talk about Bud moving up, knocking out Canelo, show me that. I'd have to see that. It's boxing, so anything's possible, but show me that. Because you didn't do all that to Madrimov. Even Errol Spence, like, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to take away credit. I'm just being so real with y'all. The condition in which Errol Spence showed up, whatever was wrong with him, I feel like he shouldn't have been on his feet and complaining about the stoppage. Bud TKO'd him and looked good and sharp, but he didn't like the Errol that showed up, if he was getting hit with big shots by like a Boots Ennis, I feel like it would have been worse. Does that make sense? I'm being so real. I'm being so real with y'all. So, like, Bud, like Mean Machine, Errol Spence, like, he's stopping the guy, but he's, like, stopping a lot of people on their feet. So, again, show me how he going to stop Canelo. How you going to actually stop him? I don't know. I'm not seeing it. So, again, I think it's going to be a disappointing fight because Bud is going to have to play it safe. When he feels that smoke from Canelo, he going to have to fight a very specific type of way, and I don't think it's going to make for the banger of a fight y'all think it's going to make. So, once again, boxing is going to gather all these people around, and then they're going to be disappointed. He stopped Mean Machine on his feet. I didn't watch the fight. From my memory, yeah. He dropped him a couple of times, but I'm talking about the final thing. I think Mean Machine was standing up. You guys can fact check me on it. But, yeah. Yeah, Porter's father threw in the towel, and then people were like, why you do that? So, again, he hurt Porter. Cool. But these aren't the same as like Fabio Wardley rocked the man out. Like, look at Fabio Wardley's last two knockouts, bro. Where he knocked out bald head dude. I forgot his name right now. The bald head in the rematch. And then his Hunis fight. Bro, he's like mopping them. It's a different type of power from them guys. Like Daniel Dubois, he got real power. Right? Daniel Dubois, he had Joshua in there spilling over and stuff. Right? Different levels of power. Different levels of power indeed. So, again, this is Bud at 35, 40, and 47. If you're natural, how are you going to move up to 68 and now you just knocking over? I don't see how that, name a fighter who did that. Who didn't have super dramatic knockouts. Like knockout of the year knockouts. Put it that way. Has Bud ever had a knockout of the year knockout where in the year he knocked someone out, it was more sensational than other knockouts? And by sensational, I'm talking about dynamic of a knockout, like boom, like where their body go limp and all that. Not like the quality of the win or whatever. I'm talking about where the knockout itself, like Wilder has had knockouts of the year, where him knocking out Brazil might have been the craziest knockout that year, or Luis Ortiz, or whoever. Wilder has that. Name any year where you think Bud Crawford had a knockout of the year, and then I'll look it up, and I'll guarantee you there's other knockouts that were probably more scary or whatever. Like when Canelo knocked out Kirkland. Canelo knocked out Amir Khan. When Bud did that? When did Bud name someone that Bud knocked out like Khan? You see what I'm saying? Where they was out. So that's what I'm saying. I think his power, he has power, but it's overstated. And again, the other thing with that is when you're fighting guys in your rightful division, your X factor could be like, I'm hungrier. I'm hungrier. So Bud has that. But then when you're bouncing up in all this weight, then that changes it, because now shots that you normally would knock guys out with, it's not having that same effect. So it's going to be interesting in the early rounds. If Bud can't get Canelo's respect, it's going to get ugly. And not talking about the quality of fighter, but power only. Who has more power at 154? Jermell Charlo or Terence Crawford? Who has more proven power at 154? I want you guys to answer that. Who has more proven power at 154 pounds, Terence Crawford or Jermell Charlo? Kamal says, we have no idea how Z-side Bud will look moving up all that weight. He probably won't be as fleet of feet and mobile. With no tune-ups means he's learning on fight night. Facts. Okay, so everyone is saying Jermell Charlo. I agree. Jermell Charlo went in there and did nothing with Canelo Alvarez. He couldn't hurt him. Now, there's two things to build from that. Either you think Canelo is more washed from that period of time, like, because that fight was like 2 years ago. You think this version of Canelo is super washed, so now Bud has a chance? Or you think Terence Crawford is so dynamic and he has so many more ways to inflict pain on you than a undisputed champion that's very quality like Jermell Charlo, to the point where he's going to sleep Canelo or whatever y'all talking about. So for me, I don't know. That just seemed like a bit of a stretch. Jermell was the man at 154, and moving up all that weight was not it. He literally looked like a different fighter versus Canelo Alvarez. So it's like, how many times we have to see this movie? And like Turkey and Bill Haney and all these people, they gaslit Terence Crawford into this fight. This didn't even seem like a reality 2 years ago. And Bud even himself was saying that. But now all of a sudden he's like, Canelo, you're no match for me. I'll whoop you. All right. So we'll see. So Bud's so dominant, the fight gets stopped before he knocks him out. That's pretty stupid. That's probably one of the dumber. That's like the second dumbest thing I've seen in the chat today. He said Bud is so dominant, the fight gets stopped before he knocks him out. That's so stupid. Because what fighter, knowing that fighters don't get paid by the hour, what fighter is going to want to be in there longer when they could just sleep you with a one shot, but they're just throwing a million punches? Like, they don't even make sense. So you're telling me Bud has the ability to one shot mean machine, but he's choosing not to, and he's choosing to go more rounds, and then the fights get it. That's just dumb. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Shout out to Loso. It doesn't make any sense at all. You don't get paid by the hour. So in boxing, if you have the ability to make it a short night, you're going to make it as short as possible. You're not going to be like, oh, I want to abuse this person more. Like, stop. Crawford by decision. I guess we'll see. For me, I feel like Bud's pathway is if Canelo's washed. That's just it. If Canelo is washed, then Bud's, that's like his better chance. Like if Canelo just, his punch resistance down. Hopefully Canelo don't fight late. But you know what? Brian, I'm gonna speak to that. At first, I was like that too, right? When I watched the Canelo Skull, I'm like, Canelo look trash. This might be Bud might got him at the right time. Blah blah blah. I said that. But I don't like being prisoner of the moment. So when I was thinking about it more, is Canelo, he knew the Bud fight was next, and there is a big associated paycheck with it. So for real, Canelo, Turkey's plan evokes laziness from the fighter. Hear me out. If Devin Haney knows all he has to do is win, no matter how ugly, and then the Ryan Garcia fight was supposed to be there because he didn't know Ryan was going to lose, then you might fight like Ryan fought. I mean, like Devin fought. Right? If Canelo knows, hey, I can make 75, 100 mil or whatever they agreed to fight Crawford, I just have to beat Skull, then why would he burn himself out for a fight that is really he's not going to lose on the cards? So I felt like I was being a prisoner of the moment, putting too much emphasis on the Skull fight. Canelo did look trash in that fight, but I highly doubt that he will he don't want to lose to Crawford, bro. And here's the other thing is something about fighting in Saudi is not the same. Maybe people are like tired or the time. He fought at 6 a.m. in Saudi Arabia, even though he acclimated, got there 2-3 weeks early. I think it's just a different climate and different time zones and stuff. Canelo been fighting in Vegas, so that's going to be more his comfort zone. I think like Wilder went to Saudi twice and lost twice. Canelo has a performance. Floyd Schofield got sick. Daniel Dubois got sick. Martin Bacoli looked nothing like he looked versus Jared Anderson. So fighting in Saudi is not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's ideal for fighters. Something about the travel or whatever is the climate or whatever. It got people losing and not looking good and whatever. So basically, the more I started thinking about it, the more I was like, you know what? I can't put too much on the Canelo Skull as much as I was putting on it. I think for the Crawford fight, he not gonna want to lose to Crawford, a smaller man. So, and he fighting in America, just different. Bacoli pulled up to the jeans, or he pulled up to the weigh-in in skinny jeans. That's what I'm saying, bro. Hey, shout out to Isaiah. What you doing? He's number one right now with the best. I don't know if you guys can see that. They start ranking the comments. The people leaving the fire comments, they start ranking them. So he number one right now. Let's go. Yeah. So I think I'm being a prisoner of the moment. And my thing is this: like my intuition from the beginning was Canelo. I probably got to ride that out unless I see something major happen. I probably got to ride that out because I don't like going into a fight predicting the worst version of somebody. You know what I mean? So I got to predict based on like Canelo might be washed. I probably just take my chances with the bigger man that's supposed to be in the division. You know what I mean? So right now I'm leaning towards Canelo again because I don't want to put too much off of one performance. I don't want to put too much because, like I said, it was in Saudi. Canelo wasn't used to that. It was in against, like, Skull is just different. He like 6'1.5", non-committal, moving a lot. You know what I mean? Canelo is already up on the card 6-1. Crawford, I think, is done at 54. I think he said that. So he'll probably retire if this don't work out. Bro, my thing is this. It's hard for me, the way Crawford and Turkey played this out, it's too hard for me to like be comfortable with the Crawford pick. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he got skills, but you don't make sense, bro. Okay, what don't make sense? We got a hot seat. Watch this, y'all. Renee says I don't make sense. What don't make sense that I said? I'm speaking perfect English, and you a bum. What don't make sense, Renee? Look, he ain't saying that. He's spooked. I also wouldn't count out this fight not happening or getting postponed or something crazy. This whole thing has been a mess. He won't do the hot seat. They scared. Kamal, they not gonna do it. He a weenie. Renee asking Chat GPT for help. Facts. Renee too scary. I try to tell y'all. See, like Crawford's tactic works when he's like equal in size to somebody. Like the Madrimov fight was close. The Sean Porter fight was close. And then he just get into that overdrive. But what I'm telling you is I feel like the overdrive and like let me hustle, that's gonna be harder to do against a bigger person. So that's one of Crawford's main tactics. I might be down in the Sean Porter fight. Kell Brooks winning some of these early moments. Mean Machines winning some of the early rounds. Jose Benavidez winning some of these early rounds. Madrimov. So let me just, step it up in my willingness to win and, put some pep in my step. That's cool when you're equal in size to people. But when you're fighting outside of your weight class, I feel like that's harder to pull off. I feel like you can do. I don't know, man. Like, for example, let's say you fight, or let's say you're playing basketball with people around your height, right? You're playing basketball with people around your height. You can probably do certain moves and get away with it or dunk on those people. But then when you're playing against NBA players and you're massively shorter, like you're 6'3", but then these dudes are 6'8", 6'9", 6'6.5", 6'7", them same moves don't work against 6'8", 6'9", 7-footers. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think that could be the situation here. Is like the moves you do, like people equal in your size, that's cool. But sometimes when you move up in too much weight, them same little moves, that little play, like let's say Sergey Lipinets. Lipinets, he could fight. You know what I mean? Lipinets could fight, but then things that would bail him out at 140, that ain't working at 147 versus Jaron Ennis. You know what I mean? Because Jaron Ennis looked like he could take a shot pretty decently. And like you trying to step on the gas, that ain't gonna cut it. Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence, same concept. Them little tricks that Mikey would do, like that might help you versus Salido or you know what I mean, somebody normally your size. You trying to do them little tricks with Errol Spence, he just too big. Crawford feeling himself. He really thinks he could beat Canelo. Why? Because Bill Haney told him to. If he loses, it's going to hurt his legacy. Bro, Crawford better win this. If Crawford, mark my words, if Crawford don't win and he lose, like if he lose bad, it's going to hurt his legacy. because people already feel that Crawford's resume is thin. So if you fight Canelo and you don't look the same, now like with no handicaps, like Errol after a crash, Jose after being shot up, blah, 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 long layoffs and all that. If you fight a guy who got activity, like this is the first fight. I'm not even being funny. This is the first fight I've ever seen Terence Crawford in that I can remember where he had all the disadvantages. If I'm lying, I'm flying, and let me know. If name another fight that Crawford had recently, last 5 or 8 years, where Crawford was at the major disadvantage. And you can't even say Errol Spence because Errol was coming off a long layoff, eye injury, whereas Crawford fought in December in a tune-up. So they're literally, I can't think of any fight where all the disadvantages went to Crawford. If Bud beat Canelo, will he get his proper saluted respect? First of all, that's a loaded question. I always have to see how a fight look. So I'm not just giving it. But that's a dumb question because if somebody deserves credit, I always give them credit, even if I was wrong. If somebody did a job well done, then they did good. Like, so that's a dumb question. Silly. This is nothing more than a cherry pick cash grab. Bro, this fight, you got, I can't wait. Like people are saying, oh, ego's sad. I cannot wait for this fight because I know I'm going to be right. I really feel like I'm going to be right. And I put out my statements that I think I'll be right about. Ugh. And I feel like a lot of people, they have like such horrific comparisons. Oh, but Mayweather did this to Canelo. What are we talking? What part of Mayweather's game do you see in Crawford? They're like, oh, but Dimitri Bivol is bigger than Crawford. I've seen both of them. Dimitri Bivol is bigger than Crawford. And Dimitri Bivol is more like a in and out ambush fighter. Crawford don't fight like that. And see, here's the thing. For me, Crawford will have to fight a style that he hasn't fought since Ray Beltran or something, where he's just purely boxing. But the difference is that was a Mexican fighter at 35 versus a Mexican fighter at 168. So even if he does try to box more and stay on the outside and keep Canelo from coming in to try to make Canelo look stupid, you know what I mean? It's still, you're giving up a lot of weight. And the funny thing is, people say, oh, ego, you're hating and all that. If I was hating, tell Bud to fight Benavidez, fight Andrade, fight Morrell, fight Berlanga, right? Fight Munguia on the juice. If you could really fight at 68 and weight don't matter, you should have been able to beat one of those guys and then fight Canelo. Bro, if you ask Bud Buddies for Crawford to fight Benavidez, they'll look like you peed in their oatmeal. They don't want that because they know how that fight will look. Benavidez already want revenge for what Crawford did to his brother. They would never make that fight. Crawford, no. Crawford do all this like, oh, I'm the best. There's all these like sparring stories that he beat up heavyweights and he beat up light heavyweights. Okay, fight Benavidez in. Neither you or Canelo will fight Benavidez. Or Resendez, Nando. Yeah, fight and build. Oh my God, Kamal. That's what I'm saying. They like this is a selective cherry pick. Canelo is aging. Canelo is the shortest, and Canelo has looked more vulnerable and more washed recently. That's why you're willing to fight. You don't want to fight no Billy to prove yourself because Billy got a crazy, crazy battery. Resendez got crazy heart. He wouldn't do that. He just, and this because of favoritism or whatever with Turkey, he was able to land this. But he didn't do nothing to earn over other guys. The world wanted Benavidez and Canelo, not Crawford and Canelo. So everything is just like, it feels forced with this fight. I'll be back in here after the scrap if Bud wins or loses just to see the energy. Bro, you guys continue to say stupid things to me. I am a content creator. My job is to make content. I get paid to make content. I don't give a if these fighters win, lose, or if it's a draw. I am going to get paid regardless. I don't understand. I'm not a basic fan where I'm just a fan and that's it. I will get, if Crawford get knocked out, I'm getting paid. If Canelo get knocked out, I'm getting paid. I don't care what the outcome is. I don't make the outcomes. You guys sound stupid. Pure stupidity. Oh, let's see what you have to say for yourself if this happened. I don't care what happens. I give you my opinion. I state my opinion. I get paid for my opinion. And whatever, I hope it's a double knockout. I don't care. They both can knock each other out. I don't like the fight. I didn't request a fight. I don't want the fight. If it's a double knockout, that's better for my channel. Dudes be like, oh, let me see what you have to say for yourself. And then they call themselves trolling. No matter what, I am going to get paid. I don't care. As long as my paycheck is right, I don't care what these outcomes are. What don't you understand? Like if it's a shocking upset and Bud knocks Canelo out and does a backflip, that's content for me. I'm about to get paid because I'm going to put that on the thumbnail. Bud doing a somersault and backflip with Canelo dead body on the canvas, and I'm going to get paid for it. How don't you understand that? And they'd be like, oh, Ego, he just talk about money. Yup, it's a business. I'm in the business to make money. I'm not Turkey. I don't want to lose money covering boxing and doing boxing. Yeah, give me my money. Yeah, run me my money. Ooh, Loso killing. Loso out here killing. That's what's wrong with boxing. He said, let's talk about Bud running from the 154-pound division. That's what makes boxing weak. Notice this, and I'm going to leave y'all with this. Because I need to eat something. I'm going to leave y'all with this. Notice this. Terence Crawford. Oh, we got a $5 cash app. Let's go. We got a $5 cash app from Tech Loach. When Ego speak, Turkey announcers. For when Ego speak, Turkey announcers, you the truth fam. Facts. Thank you for the cash app. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Peep this. This is what's wrong with boxing. And if I'm lying, I'm flying. And I don't be fibbing. All right. Notice Terence Crawford and his little bro, Keyshawn Davis, right? We'll use them as examples. They'll pitch to the public, even Shakur Stevenson, that whole circle, right? They're all connected. Keyshawn, Shakur, and Terence Crawford, right? And you could throw in Devin Haney, right? Peep this. This is what's wrong with boxing right now. All of these guys will publicly say, I'm avoided. Nobody wants to fight me. I'm the boogeyman. I can't get no scraps. Right? And then guess what? When certain opportunities arise, they don't make the right decision. Like when Devin Haney became a free agent, why didn't you go to PBC? You want to tank fight so bad. Why don't you run to the PBC gauntlet? When Shakur Stevenson became a free agent, why you ain't run to PBC? You ran to Eddie Hearn, and they was talking about Joe Cordina and Liam Liams and stuff like that. Why Shakur ain't go to PBC? So that's the problem. These guys continue to say, nobody wants to fight me. I'm the boogeyman. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. But then when it gets thick and it gets hot in that kitchen, then all of a sudden they're too good to fight. Like Keyshawn Davis, right? 135 is now kind of jumping, right? Pitbull Cruz, he said he's moving back down. El Rayo, he's moving back down. Murataya just got elevated to a full champion. He's with Top Rank. Keyshawn is with Top Rank, right? Tank obviously is at 135. Lamont Roach looked pretty big at 135. We have to see what happens in that rematch. So right when the kitchen get hot, now Keyshawn can't make weight no more. He got to move up to 140. And Keyshawn was like, I'm not fighting Murataya. That don't represent. Bro, you're not no boogeyman then. The man just became a champion. He already had a belt, but he got elevated, right? That's a great in-house fight, and now you can't make weight. And then even the Edwin De Los Santos fight, you missed weight. That you are the reason the fight got terminated. So Keyshawn, Edwin would have been your best name, and you found a way to not make it happen by not abiding by your contract. Saying that you wouldn't fight Murataya because it is not big enough. Bro, this is a bad look. Terence Crawford, he said, man, these PBC fighters, they all ducked me and I couldn't get the big fights. Now you're at 54, you were, and then Virgil Ortiz been calling you out. Boots been calling you out. You got Murtazaev look crazy versus Tim Tszyu. You got Tim Tszyu. You got Fundora. You got all this Charlo, probably Errol Spence, right? All this quality fights that make more sense at 154. Now Bud don't want to fight at 54 no more. He don't want to fight Boots. It don't mean nothing. He don't want to fight Virgil Ortiz. It don't mean nothing. This is what's wrong with the game, bro. Right? Like, beat a couple guys at 54 and then fight. Like, if Crawford would have fought Fundora and destroyed him and then fought Murtazaev and destroyed him, that would be a good calling card, and then fight Canelo. You see what I'm saying? Destroy Virgil Ortiz. You want to fight the top Mexican. Fight a Mexican that's your weight that been wanting to fight you, like Virgil Ortiz, to show that we should see you fight at 168. This is what's wrong with boxing. Politics, favoritism. You know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson, he fighting Zepeda off of 2 bad performances. But then he like, I'm the boogeyman, give me my credit. Bro, the Zepeda, I'm being real with y'all. The Zepeda, a victory over Zepeda, because of the Tevin Farmer fights, it ain't going to really hit the same. It'll be cool, but people like Shakur, they want you to unsee what you saw. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not. I watched both Tevin Farmer live when they came on and Zepeda fights. Tevin Farmer at least won one of those. And then in the second one, Zepeda didn't look amazing to me either. So now Shakur's getting him. It's not going to hit the same. It really isn't. To me, it'll be a cool win, but it's not going to be like, you know what I mean? There's other better people. I'd rather Shakur versus Teofimo at 140 or something. You know what I mean? So that's what I notice about a lot of these fighters. They'll say, there's no smoke for me, no smoke for me. And then when the divisions start to really pop and open up, then all of a sudden they can't be bothered. That's what Terence Crawford did. 54 finally, he's been in all these divisions, Crawford, where they weren't really popping. And then the one that was popping, 47, Top Rank couldn't make none of them fights. So at 35, it was stale. 40, it was stale. You didn't get none of these fights. 47, your promoter couldn't get you none of the fights. And now 54, there's some fights that are aligned with your people that would be very, very good. Virgil Ortiz, Boots, those are doable fights within your infrastructure. Murder Zailev, I think he's pretty promotionally free. Now Crawford ain't a 54-pounder. Come on, bro. Tell Z-Side Bud to fight Diego Pacheco. That's another person. Fight a starter fight. Like, this is why it's not believable. Back in the day, boxing would be like the super fights were obvious super fights. Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson, two of the best generational heavyweights. We need to see who's the it guy. Cool. Mayweather Pacquiao, two anomalies that were doing millions of pay-per-view buys independently. Let's see who's better. You know, Cotto Zab Judah, Canelo Cotto. Back when the super fights were actually super fights that determined. Even if Crawford, this is the reality of it. You guys don't really know boxing. A lot of you guys are groupies. That's why you get offended by what I say, because I speak the real. If Crawford beats Canelo, let's say he destroys him, it means very little to the division. Here's why. Because you could beat an aged Canelo who's been fighting since age 15 and shown over the last several years several signs of slowing down and maybe being involved in golf and not all the way boxing centric. Can you beat Mbili, Trevor McCumbee, Diego Pacheco? Can you beat Andrade? Can you beat Caleb? Resendez? Could you beat Morrell and Benavidez if they fought you at 68? So nowadays, it don't even matter anymore. The undisputed guy could be undisputed based solely on politics. Canelo ducked Benavidez. If Canelo fought Benavidez, I think he'd get chewed up, me personally. But he never gave us the opportunity to see it, so he keeps fighting welterweights. You know what I mean? So it's like, what does that really prove? What does it really prove? No matter who wins, Canelo and Crawford. Like, if Canelo could beat another smaller guy, cool. Okay, Crawford could beat an aged, smaller super middleweight, cool. Can you beat in prime Diego Pacheco? You know what I mean? Could you have beat Benavidez at 68 and Morrell? You know what I mean? We're talking about different things. So that's what's hurting boxing, because at the end of the day, people will say, oh, the biggest fight and the best versus the best. It's really not. Bud and Canelo, to me, are showing signs of their final chapters. You know what I mean? They're like older fighters in the game. So to me, it don't really even prove nothing. Like, back in the day, I feel like the fights would, like Trevor Berbick, Mike Tyson, that's going to solidify who Mike Tyson really is. This don't really mean nothing to me. You know what I mean? It's just one person going to win. That's how I feel. Bud would never fight Diego Pacheco. Too dangerous for his scary. That's what I'm saying. And they be always talking about these legendary Bud sparring heavyweight stories, but then you don't want to fight an in prime dude. Canelo ain't in prime. For real, for real. Canelo don't have these like freakish attributes like Pacheco height and Benavidez height, Morrell height. Morrell looked big, dog. Morrell looked big. That's what I'm saying. Bud talked about all this stuff about he avoided, but you would never fight those people. You're fighting somebody who's been a 18-year pro or whatever that happens to be the smallest in the division, that happens to have recent performances where he didn't look great in Canelo. And they're trying to like bamboozle you because Turkey said so and convince you that these are like major, huge fights that actually matter. We're going to see, man. We're going to see. I really feel like Bud is like incomplete. He should have fought at 54, 60, some tune-up fight, something to really show us. Like, it's like a sixth grader and you put him in senior year. We don't even know if you can get past the eighth grade. We don't know if you can get past freshman year, sophomore year. Why would you go from sixth to 12th grade? You know what I mean? It kind of don't make sense unless you're a proven genius. And for me, there's too many righteous tests at 54, some at maybe 60, 68 range that would really show where Crawford is at, but he won't take them. Like, I would be okay if Crawford fought Virgil Ortiz and Fundora, and then Canelo fought Resendez, and then the winners fought each other. That would make more sense to me. Because if it happens to be Canelo and Crawford, then that would at least be more like you prove something. Canelo knocked off another guy off a great performance, and Crawford would have dealt with a Hispanic Latino that's bigger than him, that has some power and stuff like that. He's 38. I don't give a that. Whose fault is that? You better blame his mama. What that got to do with me? Talking about he 38. But this is your career. This is how your career was moved. Why? Okay, instead of fighting Avocado before Errol, why you ain't fight Boots? You could have fought Boots. Y'all always got an excuse for bad business, bud. Yeah, fight Janabek. That's what I'm saying. Carlos Adames. Man, come on, bro. Y'all don't know boxing. Bro, that's what's happening. You doing the safety. You doing the safety, the safest route, because the Canelo is even a safe route. It's not like this necessarily an easy fight, but it's a fight where you're guaranteed the most money. So regardless of the outcome, you have a big opportunity and you're making more money. Boots didn't want to fight then. You a liar, bro. All y'all do is lie. He said Boots didn't want to fight Crawford when he fought Avocado. Okay. Once again, notice my commentary, I don't have to lie. These dudes just lie. They make up stuff. He just said Boots didn't want to fight Crawford when he fought Avocado. Man, these dudes, they saying whatever. Anyway, that's my time. Let me know what you guys think. I'll be back with some more heat.